for your area here. Myself and Officer Jeffords have been tasked to kind of tackle the issues over here in the swing shift kind of scheme of things, whereas the hot team kind of works during the morning, the daytime we're working at night. Sorry we were late. We actually made a couple arrests, a couple homeless guys. Well, they were drunks, but they were homeless. They had warrants, and they were also cited for open container. So we're tackling those issues. Let me address a couple things I've heard. The 911 complaint comes up to us all the time. The thing is, just so you know, if you call 911 and it rings and rings and rings, don't hang up. The thing is, if you hang up, you lose your place. So if you call back, you're back at the bottom. And a lot of people say, well, I called, it rang for 30 seconds. I hung up, I was pissed off, I hung up, I called back. Well, you're at the bottom again. So bear with us.
911 operator?
We do. The other thing is the priority of life model and the priority of dispatching. It's frustrating to me. I've been on 8 years. When I came on, you guys call, hey, my car was broken into. I come to your door, hey, your car was broken into. What can I do for you? What did you see? What did you hear? Now, we don't tackle that. We call you on the phone, oh, your car was broken into? Nice, here, let me get your name. What's the kind of car you have? And we don't have that face-to-face interaction anymore. I miss that. I honestly do miss that. A lot of those things, over 40% of the calls that we take, which are in the hundreds of thousands annually, we handle by phone. I don't like it. None of the other officers like that. We miss that one-on-one. We miss that coming out and saying, sir, sorry you're a victim. Here's some information. Let me do a walk around of your house. Let me see how I can make things safer for you. We don't do that anymore.
Why?
Manpower. As someone else addressed earlier, we have about 1 per 1,000 officers less than the rest of the nation. Okay? I've worked this west side over here 5 years. Actually 6 years. I recall one time I saw a map of the city broken down by zip code, and I was like, oh, 80904. That's where I work. And it said, I think 24 or 25,000 people in that area. There were times where I'm the only officer working. Me, Officer Tim Kippel, working for 25,000 citizens. You know, that's not safe for me either, because when I say, dispatch, I need help right now, there's no one to come because they're elsewhere in the city. So some things that you can do, please do call us. We want to come. A lot of times, and we talked to the owner of Paravancini's yesterday, they said, we have all these issues. We have these people panhandling. Well, unless we know about it, I'm not a mind reader. So unless we know about it, we can't address that. So, like I hate to throw him under the bus, but Ken at Paravancini says, we have all these issues. We look up the premise history, it's called. There's been about 2 calls, I think 2 or 3 calls in the past year and a half. Well, we go on calls at maybe some of your neighbors' houses where it's domestics and drunks and parties, and they might have 40 or 50 calls in a year. The kind of swing of the balance of that, it looks like, there's a problem here, there's not a problem here because it's going unreported. So please call. I can't honestly say that we'll make it out there in the heart and a beat of a heart. Currently, because of our manpower issues, which we only have about 300 officers that work the street, 300 officers for a city of, 450,000 people. And of course, there's days off. there's vacations, there's people sick, people having babies. All those 300 officers aren't even working at one time. So, with those manpower issues, lately, and it breaks my heart, is people have called to say, hey, my house was broken into. This happened, that happened. We're going out 8+ hours after the fact. After the fact. So, as an officer, like I said, it breaks my heart because I signed up to help you folks. That's what I take pride in. And I don't have that sense of pride when I go out hours after the fact and you're like, I probably shouldn't have called because I'm just wasting your time. And that's not how I feel. I want to be there regardless of how long it takes to get there. So, a couple things I would say that you can do as citizens. Call us. 2, be vigilant and call us. 3, contact your representatives from the city council. They're right, we're of the people, by the people, for the people, all that. And they're supposed to represent us. If they're not doing that adequately, call them out on it. And say, the thing, I was actually drafting a letter this morning to city council to encourage them to relook at park hours. We have a problem with parks, and you all probably have parks in your neighborhoods or backing up to your property, things like that. Our park hours, as an officer, I've gone hundreds of times to parks, whether it's a call for service or if that's me doing officer-initiated activity. These parks, they close during the summer at 11 o'clock. So from April 1st until November 1st, they're open until 11 p.m. November 1st to April 1st, they close at 9 p.m. In both situations, the parks are open for hours after dark. Hours, especially in wintertime. If it closes at 9, what time does it get dark? 5, 4:30. Is there any reason anyone needs to be in a park after it's dark? No.
Astrology. I homeschool, so I actually go to the park and do astrology.
Okay. There's a lot of dark places in our city that aren't in the park.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying there are some reasons.
What I would say is, majority of the people that I contact after park hours or even after dark in the parks are up to no good. They're smoking dope, they're drinking, they're vandalizing the parks, they're having sex in the parks. You name it, they're doing it in the parks. I encourage you to contact city council and say, can you please look at park hour issues? Whether that's a sunrise to sunset, something like that, that'll help keep our parks safe, it'll help keep the parks clean, and then you won't have to handle the cleanup and the repercussions of people that shouldn't be in your parks and in your backyards after hours. Yes, sir?
If you were to arrest